We have guests today from Trans Emotion. Zoyer's been here a bunch of times. Have you been here, Jess?
No, I think this is my first time. Yeah.
Congratulations. They say you've not made it anywhere till you've been on internet television in Fresno. So you've made it.
Okay.
And Zoyer's been here many times. And we're talking about kind of a somber subject today.
That's right.
Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, we are remembering the murder of Casey Haggard. She was a trans woman from Fresno who was murdered on Blackstone and Cornell 2 years ago. Her murder was actually videotaped on a security cam, and unfortunately, though, her murderer has still yet to be apprehended, and it is still an open case. So we're trying to garner some more attention. Not just remember that, she passed in a very violent way, but to encourage law enforcement and those who are in control of the case to get it going again.
And also, we'd like to put it out there in the community with this awareness so that if anybody hears anything in regards to this murder or details and clues around the crime, please come forward, because the person is still out there and they need to be apprehended.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't happen to someone else, for one thing. If there's a murder out there, one thing murderers do is murder, and they murder one person. It could happen again. Now, funny that little clues could really help, especially how long has it been? 2 years.
It's been 2 years.
2 years. So if you saw something, if you were out on Blackstone, right? Cornell. If you're out on Blackstone that night, you should talk to the police and just maybe some little thing you saw or something you wouldn't suspect, somebody running a red light or somebody acting odd, or who knows. You should talk to the police because they could use every little clue. Now, do you feel not many murders go unsolved, especially in Fresno? They usually find the murder fairly quickly, partly because usually people murder somebody they know, as husbands killing wives or uncles killing nephews, things like that. So this may have been a total stranger that committed this murder. But do you feel any slow movement on the part of the police department to find the murderer because the victim was trans?
Well, we've been in correspondence with police, and not that we could go into it much now, but I know that there has been progress made, and they haven't forgotten. And like Jess was saying, it is an active case, meaning they are still investigating and following leads. That's why it's very important that the public be aware of this vigil and be aware of the crime, because they might know more than they think.
Okay, yeah, and there could be a clue out there. Now, I have, say, 10 years ago, I could have said, I don't know a trans person. I didn't even know what it was 10 years ago. Now, here we are in 2017, and maybe 5 good friends that are trans. So, this happens, and it's not okay to murder anybody, but we don't want to diminish the value of any human life. Oh, well, that person is trans, so, we don't worry about it as much. Do you get some feelings like that out there, or do you feel the case is moving as it should?
Well, we certainly don't want people to forget. That's why we're holding the vigil, and I think that overall in Fresno the social climate is improving, and we try to put ourselves out there and make ourselves available so we can be there for correspondence or any cultural sensitivity that needs to be taken into account alongside the investigation. So I think it is improving, but we have a lot more work to do here in Fresno.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, it's to be expected. We've seen a lot of civil rights develop over the years, and everything takes time. What do you want the people to do? You want them to come to the vigil?
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing about vigils, is you want people to come and know about it.
Right. So it's happening this Saturday, which is July 22nd. We're holding it at 9 p.m. in order to avoid the heat and get more people to participate. It's going to be, a lighted area. We are going to have some security presence, and the police have said that they may be able to come out as well to, help, keep our people safe, as well as, show their support to get this case solved. There will be speakers. There will be singing. There will be also what we know as a die-in. So it will be an action where people can participate to visibly show how it affects our community when people die and they don't receive justice.
Don't receive justice, yeah. Where
Yeah.
will the vigil be?
It will start at Blackstone and Michigan, not too far from where she was murdered, and that's where we're going to hold the speakers and stuff like that. And then we're going to move a little bit down the street to her actual death site, and that's where the die-in will happen.
It's just about a block or so.
About
really,
a
isn't it?
block. It's not very far at all.
Now, what's the process of putting something like this on? Do you have to get permits?
Well, no. We did let the police know that we were going to have this, and because we wanted them there
Yeah.
to show support, because I know that they're as frustrated at the stagnation as we are. But because it's a fairly small gathering, we're letting them know ahead of time. It's going to be a peaceful demonstration and action, and so yeah, there wasn't any need for that. We just have to follow the laws, make
Follow
sure
those,
we're
yeah.
not
Don't block traffic or
we're not going to block traffic.
not going to take over Blackstone Avenue or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, and yeah. So as far as we stay within the law, it should be fine.
And tell me about the die-in.
So we're going to have people who volunteer to do it and who are physically able to basically lie down on the sidewalk of where she was murdered and sort of the path of where, because she was stabbed and she actually was able to walk a little ways down Blackstone, and she was trying to flag traffic to try and stop and help her, and then she died a little ways down. So that's going to be the idea, is where people are going to be laying down. Some of us might have makeup and stuff to show, so it's going to show the death of not just Casey, but we've also had what's the count now?
At least 5, this year in the local area.
In the Central Valley.
In the Central Valley.
Who have either been murdered or who have committed suicide.
Transgendered people.
Transgender or gender non-conforming people. So it's becoming a real crisis in our valley. And people need to be aware, and we need to start stepping up and helping our community more.
Now, just take a moment and tell us about Trans Emotion and what they do and how people get involved in that.
So Trans Emotion is a 501c3 community benefit organization that works to improve the lives of transgender people through outreach, education, advocacy, and support in Fresno and surrounding communities. And so education is part of what we do. Advocacy is a whole lot of what we do. Being a visible support in the community that includes vigils and protests, and being out there to where we can be seen so people know there are transgender people and we exist in every single demographic of people that there is, and we deserve the same respect and dignity as everybody else.
And there might be some young person out there who's struggling with their identity, and somebody says, I'm not the only one, there's some other people like me.
We do hold monthly support groups, a monthly social, monthly art night, so we do have different activities going around, and we have a nice little community growing. And so we do invite any transgender people out there who are wanting to meet other transgender people and just have support, or any family members who have questions about the issue. Please let us know. You can contact us at transemotion@gmail.com. Again, that's transemotion, transemotion @gmail.com. And our phone number is 559-464-5806.
Now, do you have a website?
We use mostly Facebook. We do have a website, though, transemotion.com.
Transemotion.com.
No hyphen.
Just go to Google, type Transemotion. You're going to find all kinds of stuff, a Facebook page, a phone number, ways to communicate. And is there some kind of regular meeting?
So we like we said, we have the first socials, the first Friday at Ming's Chinese restaurant, right down the street here, and that's open for everybody. So you can you are always welcome to come, and you know
And it's close to you.
Yeah, that's
I can
right.
walk
It's
there. I
that's
don't
right.
drive,
To
so
you have no reason to miss it. And we also, you know, we do hold support groups, but we also are doing an art night now, which is the third Tuesday
Okay.
of every month, and now we're holding it at Common Space on Tulare Street,
Third
and starting at 6:30. We bring the art supplies, and we allow people to express themselves, and they can take their art home, and it's open to everyone, not just the trans community.
Very
so,
cool.
and
what do you call that? Art?
Just art night.
Art night.
It's starting to grow. We had almost 30 people here last night, so it's pretty exciting.
Nice.
But yeah, we're hoping to see more people come out and get to know their community more.
Very good. Now we're going to bring this all the way back, circle back. Casey Haggard was
Yes.
killed out on Blackstone and
Cornell.
Blackstone Cornell 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and so she's not forgotten. There's going to be a vigil, and that's this Saturday night around 9 p.m. And everybody's invited. I mean, anybody who's
Yes.
against injustice
Yes.
should go out there. And if you didn't know her, you don't remember the case, it's still an open case, and injustice is injustice, no matter who the injustice is done to. And this person, Casey Haggard, deserves justice.
Yes.
And so just keeping a spotlight on it. I asked you if the police are doing a good job. You seem pretty confident they're doing what they can, and they're still investigating it. But somebody out there knows who did this.
We also need the help of the community.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the person who did the killing did it, but other people saw Casey Haggard walking down the street after being stabbed, and they saw that. And if you think, well, I just didn't want to get involved, you didn't want to get involved, but you still saw something out there, and it wouldn't hurt to talk to the police.
Yeah.
And maybe you remember a car or somebody stopping or something from that night that could help the police, and they'd like to talk to you, I bet.
And you know, it's something to remember too that, you know, maybe you don't think you know a trans person, but the more visibility we have, the more we recognize that it's our brothers, it's our sisters, it's our moms and dads, our uncles, it's people that you work with.
Yeah.
And every time I think of Casey, and I think of, you know, people who think the only way out is suicide, I think, you know, what if someone just recognized them as the human being that they know them as, and, you know, if they saw them murdered like that,
Yeah.
what would they do? What would they want to see happen? So I asked the community to think about that. You know, if this was someone you cared about, how would you want the community to respond?
Because your brother, your sister, your child, so.
Absolutely.
All right, so the vigil is Saturday night, Saturday, July 22nd, over on Blackstone, Michigan. It's, I think, a little south of Shields.
Yes.
A little south of Shields there. And everybody's invited. Everybody's encouraged to go. And if you have any questions, go. Give the email one more time.
Transemotion@gmail.com. That is TRANSEMOTION @gmail.com. They may also call us at 559-464-5806.
And if you didn't get any of that down, a lot of people watch at work, and they're not supposed to be watching, so they're doing their work and
I
not
won't
making
tell.
notes. Call me direct. Call us here at Central Valley Talk. Mike Briggs, 579-1360. I'll give you one of their direct phone numbers if I have to, just to
Absolutely.
get you out there, get you information. If you need information, you need someone to talk to, I'll put you in touch with Transemotion. This is Central Valley Business and Events, and we'll be back right after this.